Hi, second graders. Today's skills lesson that we will be working on together is Unit 5, lesson number 17. Our learning targets for today's lesson, what are we going to be working on? We are going to review different kinds of verbs. We're going to change the tense of action verbs. We'll talk about present tense and past tense primarily today. And we're going to talk about how to write a different ending to a story from Sir Gus. So you have already learned about a couple of different kinds of verbs. And typically when I say what is a verb, you would say it's an action word, right? Something that you do. So we've learned that verbs are either action words or we talked about the verb to be, right? We talked a lot about that through Unit 4 and into the beginning of Unit 5. So to be is another type of verb that we use. So we're going to review some verbs by identifying the verb in each sentence, okay? So in the sentences up on the screen, I'll read the sentence out loud, and I'm going to give you a minute. If you need to pause the video, you can do that. But we have to decide which word is the verb. Which word is the thing that someone is doing? So it's either an action word or it is a form of the verb to be. So where did you get that notion? Good, it would be get. Make an exception. Which one's the thing that you do? Make, very good. Give a generous portion. Which is the thing that you do? Give, nice job. Make a magic potion. Make, excellent. What is all the commotion about? This one's tricky. Our verb here is the word is. Remember, is a form of to be. What are the options? Good. Our verb here is a form of to be, and that is the word are. Our verb is are. What are the options? Meet at the train station. Our verb here is the word meet. Don't mention it. What's the thing that you do in this sentence? Mention. Excellent. Our verb is mention. Pay your taxes. Which is something that you do? Pay is our verb. Very good. The key is in the ignition. This one's another tricky one. It's a form of to be. Our verb here is the word is. I ate a huge portion. Notice this looks a lot like the word potion, but with this R here, it changes it to portion. So a potion is when you mix things together. A portion is a section or a bit. I ate a huge portion. Our verb here is ate. That's what you do. Ate. Past tense, but we'll get to that. We stopped at the gas station. Our verb here is stopped. Very good. They looked in the dictionary. Looked is your verb here as well. Good. I have a cold. Have. Yes, very good. Have. She wrote a letter on stationery. Stationery is a fancy word for nice letter writing paper. Your verb here is wrote. Excellent. He is the apple of my eye. This one's a little tricky. This is a form of to be. Our verb here is. Have a knee-jerk reaction. That means kind of like an instant reaction. Your verb here would be have. Actions speak louder than words. Don't fall for this one. Which one's an action word? Guess what? It's not the word actions. It's the word speak. That is what you do in this sentence. Speak. We can change the form of a verb to indicate if something is happening now, if something happened in the past, or if something will happen in the future. We call this our verb tense. So this brief sentence says, I walk. What verb tense is this? We would say this is the present tense. When something is the present tense, means it happens right now. I walked. What verb tense is this? This would be past tense, already happened. Notice the difference between I walk and I walked. We have an ed ending that changed it from present tense to past tense. I will walk. This is in the future. This hasn't happened yet. It will happen, but it hasn't happened yet. Today we're going to focus specifically in on verbs that are in the present tense, meaning right now, and verbs that are in the past tense, meaning already happened. Okay? The past tense means that it already happened, it's over and done. Okay? In the present tense, that is when something is currently taking place. It's currently happening right now. So I paint today. What verb tense is this? Present or past? This one's present, and we can use the clue today to help us, but we can also look at the form of paint. I paint. Okay? But if it says yesterday I painted, I can use the clue yesterday to help me know that this is past tense. But I can also use the form of paint. Painted. Do you see that ed ending? That's usually a good clue to tell you that it's in the past. Yesterday I painted. It already happened. Good. Most verbs change to the past tense by adding ed to the end of the word. So we have I golf or I golfed. I play or I played. I jump or I jumped. And then I bike or I biked. Okay? So we are going to take a quick look at your Google form because I want to explain what it is that we need from you in the top section, okay? This is the majority of your Google form for today. It says, which sound or sounds do we say at the end of the past tense verbs listed? So we have played, sprinted, rushed, okay? And then your options for what sound does it make? We have d, so ud. We have d, and we have t. So with the word played, does played say id, d, or t? Let's listen one more time. Played, does it say id, d, or t? Good. Played says d. Hope it's not going to let me edit. So you're going to tell me which sound is made by each word. Sprinted. Sprinted. Does that say id, d, or t? What sound comes at the end of the word sprinted? Good. That one would be id. Nice job. Nice job. It's going to be helpful for you to say those words out loud so that you can hear the sound at the end. Even when I was creating that for you, I had to say the words out loud when I made the answer key so that I could hear the sound at the end of each word, okay? The other thing we're going to talk about today is how to change the ending of a story. And I'm going to read you a familiar story from Sir Gus, which means a story that you already read. And I want you to be thinking of some what-if questions that could help you think of the ending in a different way. So some example sentence stems for you to be thinking of are, what if Sir Gus had not blank? What if King Alfred had blank? What if the knights had not blank? So you're going to be thinking of questions like these to help you think of a new ending for the story. Okay, you're going to take the ending that happened and you're going to say, but what if? And we're going to adjust the ending. Okay. So the story that we're going to take a look at is The Hungry Troll. I want you just to follow along as I read it out loud to you, and we'll think of some what-if questions together. So The Hungry Troll. King Alfred was delighted when Sir Gus gave him his ring. How did you find it so quickly? He asked. Sir Gus shrugged and said, it was nothing, sire. Just a bit of good luck. I see you are not only brave and clever, said the king, you are modest as well. The king slipped the ring back on his finger. Then he had all his other knights come to a meeting. Knights, he said, brave Sir Gus has recovered my ring. You may all go home. The knights rode off to their homes in the country. They carried with them the story of Sir Gus and the king's ring. The story was told far and wide. Sir Gus became a very famous knight. For a long time all was well. Each day the king would hunt, fish, and eat. Each night he slept peacefully in his bed. Months passed. Then one snowy winter morning there came the sound of thunder. Except it was not thunder. It was the thunderous cry of a troll. The troll had woken from a long sleep. It was very hungry. A troll is a monstrous beast. It will eat a lot of things, but it is very fond of people. King Alfred was frightened. He woke up when the troll cried out. He feared for the safety of his kingdom. He sent for his knights. At once 11 brave knights came. They too were woken by the loud cry of the troll. However, Sir Gus the Fearless did not come. The cries of the troll had not woken him. He was still tucked up in bed snoring. At last the king could wait no longer. He sent one of the other knights to fetch Sir Gus. Sometime after lunch, Sir Gus came. He was tired and hungry. He had a bad cold. His nose was swollen and red. "What kept you?" asked the king. "Did you not hear the sound of the troll?"
"No, your Majesty,"
said Sir Gus.
"I did not. I have a cold in my nose,"
replied Sir Gus. "Well, it must have stopped up your ears too," said the king. "Hear me, knights, I am concerned. We must do something to stop this monstrous troll. We must keep this loathsome beast from eating all of the people in my kingdom. Who has a plan?" "If I may, your Majesty," said the knight known as Sir Tom, "I know that trolls are scared of fire. We could make a fire near the troll's home and scare it." "I like it," said the king. "See that it is done." 11 of the knights went to get torches. Then they rode off to find the troll. Sir Gus, however, did not ride off at once. He crept into the king's kitchen and helped himself to a big slice of pie. All right. So think of a question using one of these sentence stems. What if Sir Gus had not? What if King Alfred had? Or what if the knights had not? How could we change the ending of this story? I'm thinking, what if Sir Gus had not blank? What if Sir Gus had not had a cold? Or what if Sir Gus woke up when he heard the troll? Or what if Sir Gus had gone with the other knights and not stayed back to eat pie? Would that change the end of the whole story? While you're thinking of these questions to write a new ending, it's your creativity. You get to decide. So when I think of it, I think of the ending. What if Sir Gus had not stayed behind to eat pie and he went with the rest of the knights? How would that affect the rest of our story? Okay. In the next lesson, you are going to practice planning a new ending on your own for a different story. So we talked about it today together, about some of those what if sentence stems. And tomorrow, you are going to be practicing doing one on your own. Okay, so to review what we accomplished today, we talked about different kinds of verbs. We talked about action verbs and to be verbs. We changed the tense of action verbs. We said present tense means right now, past tense is already happened. And we talked about writing a different ending to the hungry troll in Sir Gus. We're going to do a little bit more on that tomorrow. So it's your job to work on the sounds, the ending sounds. Does the end say id, d, or t for those verbs that are in your Google form? And then you're going to tell me what tense they are in. If you have any questions, please ask. We are here to help. And I will see you tomorrow for tomorrow's lesson.